Hi everyone, Cindy Turner here, creator of Evolving Women, and I'm hosting a 40-week feature featuring fabulous women doing amazing things in the world. And today I have the lovely Leanne Blaney with me. But before I introduce you to her, I'd love to give you a little bit of background about who she is and what change she's affecting in the world. Leanne is a certified coach. She's a keynote speaker, podcaster, and award-winning author of Balance Adventure School for Women. Leanne will be speaking at the upcoming Ultimate Girls Week away in Fiji in February 2020 on stage with Elizabeth Gilbert. What an amazing opportunity that will be for her. Welcome, Leanne. I'm looking so forward to having this conversation with you today.
Well, thank you for inviting me on. I'm really excited to have a chat about, all things balance and that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And I'm loving how, it feels so tropical and light and fun with that beautiful backdrop that you've got going on today. So welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me what you were doing prior to getting into the space of helping people around finding more balance in their life. What were you doing professionally and what brought you into the coaching, personal development realm?
So I worked for government I suppose for about 16 years, and then I was for universities and that beforehand. So I did a lot of project management, secretarial work, admin work, things like that. And what I was on, it was like getting really, really frustrated with my work, and, because there's a lot of challenges when you're out there working in government. Your hands are tied behind your back for a lot of things. And because I was working with government budget measures, it was all about what's happening with the government, and there's quite a lot of stress and challenges around that. I also went through divorce, and that put a lot of pressure on my work. So what I did I suppose it was just before my 40th birthday, about 10 years ago, I decided, this has got to change. So I actually decided to work on myself. And of course, most people think, I've got to lose weight. That'll change everything. So I started doing that. But then it just evolved from there. I thought, yeah, I'm going great now. I've lost weight. I'm out there doing things I love. Life is turning itself around. And then I started doing a bit more personal development. I thought, this is really good. So I decided to do a coaching course so I could, learn more, even if it was just for myself. I thought, it would benefit even those around me. But then I just got the passion for it and realized when I helped other people doing the same thing that I did, turning their life around, getting them off that road to burnout that I was on, it was just amazing. So that's why I still kept working because I didn't want to just stop dead, but I did transition. So I learned, how to have a business, how to do personal development, how to coach people, and things just evolved from there.
So would you say, Leanne, when you were working in government, that you were already at a point of burnout, or did you feel that you were on your way there and you identified that in yourself?
I was very much on the way there because I had a year where a lot of things happened. I had changed jobs within different areas within the government. My house got flooded and we had to move out and get everything done, and my 2 dogs died, and it was just one of those years, and I just felt there was no resilience there. Things were getting to me all the time, and the people around me at work were just not my people. They were just, you sort of know when you don't connect to people, and that's what was happening to me. And because I was on this road to burnout, I wasn't connecting with anyone else either because I was withdrawing, becoming more isolated. So I realized if I didn't do something soon, that I would actually reach burnout. And so I decided to take some long service leave. And then when I did that, I worked on myself and realized I didn't want to go back. I couldn't do that to myself again. So I started my own business full time.
So in that time, obviously you were taking long service leave, you were taking some time out from your professional career in government. What were some of the signs that you were seeing within yourself that you were on your way to burnout?
I was definitely tired all the time. I had no energy to do anything. Even though I had been working on my fitness and doing things, I was still very tired. I just didn't, and I think it was more when I had to get up to go to work. I couldn't drag myself out of bed. I think, I don't want to get up. So I left it to the last minute. And it was a dragging yourself. When you realize that you don't want to do something, you have to really force yourself to do it. It takes up a lot of energy. And
Absolutely.
I was actually angry all the time because I was angry with myself. And then I put the anger out on everyone else. And I was frustrated because I couldn't work out what was going on. So I was sort of noticing those type of things, that I wasn't myself and it wasn't who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I realized something had to change.
And what were some of the things that you started to engage in to help you find more balance at that period in your life?
I started doing, I started running for fitness and to lose weight. And then I really found out, oh, I really like running. So, okay, so I started doing, let's do 5K, let's do 10K. And I thought, okay, well, what can I do with this? I'll go and do fun runs. So I found something that I was passionate about that I could do regularly that gave me my me time
Mhm.
and was actually really healthy for me. So I just took up the running and I did probably 5 or 6 fun runs and realized that, this is something, if I do regularly, it just made the world of difference to how my life was looking.
Mm. Terrific. So obviously, there's an evolution in terms of what's brought you to this moment in time, and now you've written this fabulous award-winning book called Balance. How has this book come to be for you?
The book was always something I dreamed about doing. And then you think, oh, I can't write a book. I don't know what to do. So you talk yourself out of it for a while.
Yeah.
And then finally I thought, when I was starting my business, I was about 8 months in and thought, I need somebody to help me because I don't know a lot about business. Being in government, I never had to know this stuff. So I thought, okay, I'll get a business mentor. And they said, okay, the first thing you need to do is write your book. I said, oh, okay, what will I write about? But then when we sat down and thought about what I wanted to write about, it was basically my story. I just wanted to show people how you could actually go from that road to burnout, go from feeling horrible, not knowing what was going on with your life, thinking that was it, to actually loving life, to getting adventures into your life and having so much fun. So when I started writing it, I thought all the things that I did. So yes, one was the running, getting out and doing movement, exercise. Then I realized, actually, I love nature. I love going out there and just standing in it, being present in it. So I, just started adding in all these things that I did. I thought, well, I've learned a lot of stuff with coaching as well, personal development. And I know celebrating my achievements is one of them. I know loving myself is another one. So I just went on that journey thinking, okay, how did I go about doing it? And then I just weaved my story in among, what I'd done, just so people could understand they're not alone. And then that was the output of the book. So I was, it was just sort of like it was like a purging, I suppose. It was all there, but I just wanted to come out so that I can help other people and, as the starting point for them.
It's quite cathartic, isn't it? Writing a book and weaving your journey through that. So you're really sort of taking pause to reflect on your own experiences and the learnings that you've taken from it. That's
It,
certainly been my experience.
yeah, it definitely is, because there were things that I never thought would come up. And
Yeah.
as I was writing, these things would come up and go, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, maybe that's still there and I need to address that. There was just those little things. And then realizing that I was going to be vulnerable in letting people know my story, which I hadn't told. I haven't really told my story a lot before that time. I had mentioned to people I was, in government, I've been burnt out, and that's about it. But to let them know what was really going on for me, that I was using alcohol to numb my pain,
Hmm.
just things like that make you feel vulnerable, that you think, oh, people are going to judge you. It actually helps them because they know they're not alone if they're doing similar things.
Sure. So now that you've written the book and you're on the other side of that and you're working in this space of helping other people to find more balance, whether that's internal balance or balance with their life more broadly, what are some of the themes that you see around you? What do you see that people around you that, they might be, in that government job or other corporate job where they're on the treadmill? What are the themes that you're seeing with people around you in the moment now?
So I see a lot of, especially women, and that's who I mainly target to, but I do work with men, but it's a lot of women put so much pressure on themselves to be superwoman.
Mm.
And it can be a super mum, it can be a super wife, super partner, whatever it is, they put so much pressure on themselves. And when they've got technology, how it is now with social media and media, society saying all these things, that they have to be a certain way, there's just so much pressure. So I'm not, I think there is a turning point now at the moment that people are starting to think there's got to be more to this, that it's not quite right, but it's still there when you're working in a job, that you think you have to be there. You have to have a job for security. You can't do something for yourself. You've got to make sure that your family's okay, do things for the kids before yourself. But the common theme is that women especially, are exhausting themselves
Mm.
and not taking the time out to do things for themselves. And they don't realize that if they don't, they're not going to be the best person for everyone else. It's just showing up, but not really knowing or being present with what's going on.
So you think they're setting the bar really high for themselves, like impossible to achieve?
I really think that's what it is. Yeah, they think I mean, perfectionism gets thrown around a lot, but that's really low standards, what I think, because no one ever reaches that bar of perfection. And, you know, how do you enjoy your life when you're always trying to be somebody else? You're putting that mask on of saying, this is who I am. I'm perfect. I'm doing great things. I'm out there. And then you come home and you collapse in a heap.
Exactly.
You don't get that support. So, you know, I think women especially need to think about that, you know, they don't have to have that persona when they go out into the world.
So if you had the ear of every woman on the planet, what would you love to share with her? What would be your message for her?
I just want them to know that they are good enough to be themselves. They are unique individuals. They don't have to conform to what society says. It's that you can go out there and do what you want to do and be passionate about it without hiding yourself, without putting the persona on, without putting the mask on, just to be free who you are. Because I just feel the mask that people put on is just so prevalent at the moment that people never really see or show their real self. And I just want women out there, you know, I want this to ripple effect all over the world. And that's why I do have a global business, is just tell them that it doesn't matter what culture you're from, what country you're from, this still seems to be prevalent that women don't want to be the one that stands out and be their wonderful, magnificent selves because society says they shouldn't do. So that's what I'd like to get out there.
So what are some of the things that people might come to find in your book if they were to read it? What would be some of the tips in there?
It's quite an interactive book. So I've got lots of little quizzes. I've got little activities to do. I call my little activities at the end of each chapter an adventure lesson. But something that you can go out, and it might just be something that I pulled from that chapter to go out and do. And it's things like performing random acts of kindness, you know, just getting them started with that. It's going out and finding out how they are, how assertive they are, because a lot of women aren't assertive. They stand back, and that can be very problematic for their lives. So it's got a quiz in there and some tips on how to become more assertive. I suppose the last chapter is the one I love the most. It's all about having an adventure list. And I'm getting out there saying, no longer should we have the bucket list. Get rid of the bucket list because it's got that connotation of death and only doing things right at the end of your life. I want people to have an adventure list that they're doing right now.
I love that.
Yeah, having those things on their list where, yes, travel's great and you can look forward to that in a couple of years' time if that's what you're saving for. But it's the things you can do every day, the things you can look forward to each week. Like I have my running, I go running each Saturday at park run. So one of my things on my list is to do 200 of them. So I'm at 170 the other day, last one.
Yeah, well done.
So it just gives you things to look forward to though, and having, like, it doesn't have to be running or exercise, it can be other things. It's like one of mine was adopting a greyhound. And I love my greyhound so much. It's just made a world of difference to my life. But it's all those sort of things, the things you're passionate about. You know, when people start thinking about what they're passionate about and doing that, you're looking forward to something every day. And that can change your state when you're getting up in the morning. Even if you're in that really bad job that you really dislike, it makes a difference to getting up if you've got something to look forward to. And mine is seeing my dog in the morning. It's getting up to go for a walk. It's seeing nature. It might be calling on a friend. I've always got something to look forward to.
I like that. So it gets people focusing on the positive things in their life that they want to have more of. So they're creating more and more of the beauty that they want to see.
Yeah.
For me, I'm getting married in March next year. So it's like all these ideas around, you know, what do we want that day to look like? So it's something really exciting to move towards and to plan and bring to fruition. So certainly on my horizon at the moment, putting that all together. But I love that.
Having something to look forward to. See, it's like travel, like weddings, and we all have those type of things, but we forget about the day to day.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can have that.
Maybe smaller things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the most rewarding part of writing this book for you?
I think the most rewarding one was to actually finish it and say I've done it and I've been totally honest with myself. These are the things that happened. So to get that out there and then to know that this book might actually get in the hands of someone who needs it just to start them on the journey, because it's a very foundational book. I didn't want to do something that's, you know, a bit too out there for people that they can't understand. I want those people that are in a job that might be on that road to burnout to have something foundational. And now that I can get that out there, I've had so many people say, oh, I love your book. Oh, I read that chapter on nature, or I read that chapter on loving yourself. I couldn't believe that, you know. So they're actually thinking about things and they're starting to get that awareness, which, you know, you and I both know that 90% of the journey is awareness.
Absolutely.
And once you're aware of something, you can actually change it. But until then, you don't know what's going on. We can't change.
And so do you use the book in, as a complement to your coaching and mentoring work as well?
It's definitely something I use. I use it when I do speaking engagements. I like to be able to have the book there so people, they're getting to know you, thinking, oh yeah, she sounded interesting. It's their first introduction to me. So the book's great there. Then when I have coaching clients, I say, have you got the book, or would you like the book? Because then it gives them something to refer to. Because my program is, like, I have a coaching program that's based on the book. So I lead them through different things. It's a lot more in depth what I do, one-on-one obviously, but at least the book gives them something to refer to and to look at in between sessions or even before I do a workshop.
Awesome. So how can people find out more about you, Leanne, and your book? How could they get a copy of it?
They can definitely go to my website, which is leanneblaney.com, or they can even just, stalk me on Facebook. You can look up Leanne Blaney, and I've got a business page and a personal page, and I'm quite happy for you to have a look at both. And you send me a message. I'm quite happy to chat about things, to talk about the book, to see if it's of interest to them. So yeah, they're the two probably the best ways to contact me.
Fabulous. Well, I'll make sure to put those links up at the end of the video for everyone so they can find you. Thank you so much for your time today, Leanne. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm Cindy Turner, and that's a wrap.